The cavern pulsed with a sickly, rhythmic throb, the phosphorescent glow reflecting in the wide, terrified eyes of the liberated aliens. They were a grotesque menagerie, hulking figures with chitinous armor, slender beings with iridescent skin, and others so alien they defied easy description. They huddled together, a mass of fear and confusion, while Elias frantically wrestled with the failing console. Signal integrity dropping, Doctor, he gasped, sweat plastering his dark hair to his forehead. The cascade, it's destabilizing the entire network. I can barely maintain a link to the Stardust. Eris ignored him, his gaze sweeping over the aliens. Their silent terror mirrored the turmoil within his own mind. The ancient power pressed against him, a seductive whisper promising order and power, but demanding compliance. Containment fields offline. Full liberation achieved, Krell reported, his voice devoid of emotion but his eyes sharp, assessing the potential threat. Recommend establishing defensive perimeter. Eris nodded, his hand instinctively tightening on the pulse rifle strapped to his arm. The order felt hollow, a futile gesture against a cosmic tie. Deploy security drones. Keep the perimeter secure but devoid unnecessary aggression. They scared. The security drones, small, sleek machines bristling with weaponry, hummed to life, forming a defensive ring around the terrified aliens. But Eris knew it wasn't just the aliens they were protecting themselves from. The tremors shaking the cavern were not merely structural failures. They were the echoes of something vast, something ancient. Lieutenant Vance, report, Eris commanded, his voice resonating with an authority he wasn't sure he possessed. A crackle of static followed by Vance's strained voice filled the comms channel. Doctor, we're taking heavy fire. Devourers are converging on our position. They seem to no asterisk, we're here. They're anticipating our actions, Eris murmured, more to himself than to Vance. The ancient power chuckled in his mind, a mocking echo of his own realization. They know Eris. Because I told them, Asterisk. Initiate jump sequence, Eris ordered, his voice sharp and decisive. Maximum warp. Get us out of here. Elias' hands flew across the console, his face contorted with effort. Attempting jump requires override code, ancient power interference intensifying. Override the system, Elias. Do whatever it takes. Eris roared, fighting to maintain control of his thoughts. The ancient power offered a tantalizing vision, a universe reshaped in its image, with Eris as its instrument. He recoiled from the temptation, the image dissolving into shimmering fragments. Jump sequence initiated. Structural integrity critical. Elias cried out, just as the cavern wall beside them exploded in a shower of phosphorescent slime and crystalline shards. The revelation was immediate and terrifying. Beyond the shattered wall lay not more cavern, but a colossal chamber dominated by a pulsing, organic core, a monstrous heart beating with primordial power. Above the core floated a single colossal eye, its pupil an abyss that seemed to stare directly into Eris's soul. What is that? Krell breathed, his stoicism finally cracking. Eris didn't answer. He couldn't. He was paralyzed, rooted to the spot by the raw, overwhelming power radiating from the core. The ancient power's voice surged within his mind, no longer a whisper, but a deafening roar. You see, Eris? You understand now. You are not a doctor. You are a catalyst. A key. A pawn in a game far older than your species, and far grander than your comprehension. The colossal eye blinked, and Eris Thorne knew, with a certainty that chilled him to the very core of his being, that the game had begun. Report on status of Stardust. Eris managed to rasp out, forcing himself to break free from the ancient gaze. Vance's voice, tight with panic, crackled over the comms. Dr. Aquat and a temporal distortion devours. Our closing-in shields failing, we can't maintain a stable trajectory. Suddenly, a new voice, cold and emotionless, echoed in Eris' mind, eclipsing even the ancient power. The Devourers are merely scouts, Dr. Thorne. Their knowledge of your location is irrelevant, Asterisk. Eris spun around, searching for the source of the voice. He saw nothing. I am the guardian, enforcer of balance. Your interference has disrupted the natural order. You will face the consequences, Asterisk. Before Eris could respond, the cavern began to collapse around them. A wave of energy slammed into the team, throwing them to the ground. Elias! Krell! Report! Eris shouted, struggling to his feet. "I'm but operational, Doctor," Krell replied, his voice strained. "System overload. Can't establish a stable link." Elias cried out, wrestling with the console. The Stardust, caught in the temporal distortion, shimmered violently, threatening to tear itself apart. The Devourers, guided by forces beyond human comprehension, converged on their prey. Eris Thorne braced himself for the inevitable. He was trapped, surrounded by enemies, and manipulated by forces he could barely understand, but even as despair threatened to consume him, A spark of defiance ignited within his heart. He might be a pawn, but he would not be a puppet. He would fight. He would survive, and he would unravel the mystery of the ancient power, no matter the cost.